Wel, bore da gyfeillion. Good morning, subscribers. 104 subscribers. It was 98 the last time I spoke with you. So I'm delighted to welcome an extra 6 on board to Walking and Talking with Williams. And you've probably guessed already where I am today in my little pre-Christmas message to everybody. I am in the quaint West Wales Ceredigion town of Aberaeron. Now, Aberaeron, like many picturesque towns and villages in Wales, not only in Wales, in Scotland, in Cornwall, in Cumbria, these places are very attractive to second homeowners, people who've made a pile of money elsewhere, very often in the southeast of England, where salaries, opportunities and pay is much better, much better, many times what you can get locally. And it's a very hot potato is second home ownership. And I mean, somebody might say, well, what business is it of anybody else's? What homes, whose homes they are, how often people visit, how long they live there. What business is it of anybody else? Well, fortunately or unfortunately, it is the business of the community, because the language of the community can change if so many people come in, buy second homes and start speaking a language that is not native to the area. So it can change linguistically very quickly, because as we know, English is so common, such a common language, a global language. Unless you particularly want to see S4C, Gogglebox or any other quality programs, you'll have to excuse me today, because I haven't brought my selfie stick, so some of the footage might be a bit wobbly. So Wobbly Hand Williams and his Christmas message. So I keep interrupting myself, I keep going off on a tangent. It's like Ronnie Corbett's Christmas message. So over by there in the far distance, where Wobbly Hand Williams is pointing the camera, is Cay Newydd, Newquay, where I'm led to understand that the second home ownership is something like 45%. So over half the housing stock is empty at any one time. These places come alive in the summer, obviously, because the weather is warmer and the sun is shining, but in the winter they become like ghost towns and ghost villages, which is another effect on the local community. Come home to a real fire, buy a cottage in Wales. Those of us of a certain vintage will remember the Not the 9 o'clock news sketch at the approximate time that maybe on Glyndŵr were setting fire to cottages and second homes in North West Wales. So in Gwynedd, where this is a very hot topic indeed. extreme measures, but sometimes extreme situations require that. But even since then, nothing much has changed in the neoliberal capitalist housing market. People are free to buy. If you've got the Moulin Rouge, boys back, if you've got the Moulin Rouge, you can buy anything you like. You can buy property, you can buy people, you can buy people's souls. So, a very emotive subject, but I mean, Christmas, while your chestnuts are roasting by an open fire, you can think about this. Think about whether the Welsh Government and Welsh local councils are to blame for allowing the situation to get completely out of hand. And now their reaction is blunt tool, blunt instrument. They are increasing council tax right across the board, sweep across the board, doesn't matter who you are. It's like it was 100% increase, 150% increase, and they're allowed to go 300% increase. Whether they're actually going to do that, second homeowners will await with bated breath. We'll have to see what actually happens. But they've left it too late. So you've heard the saying, too little too late. Well, this is almost too much too late. So they're going to price one lot of second homeowners out of the market, and another bunch of second homeowners who can afford the property prices will come in. So you haven't solved the second home ownership problem, the so-called luxury problem that some describe it as. The question has to be asked, do wading birds care who lives where? Oh, little poem there, see? It's a hugely emotive topic, and one which will not be solved easily. They're trying to solve it, but it's going to be solved messily, and as many of these things are solved, they're solved on Twitter, or they're discussed on Twitter, and it gets very, very murky and messy. So we'll have to see what happens, innit? So what else have I got to say to my 104 subscribers with the beauty of this Georgian town behind me? They used to spell it Aberaeron with a Y. So the old anglicised spelling. So perhaps that was something, you know, the map makers will leave our mark. I don't know. But it's gone to Aberaeron now, A-E. So why would that be? Oh, I can't stop talking in rhyming couplets, man. Whoop, banana skin, over he goes. So, aye. Sorry to hit you with another big topic today, but, you know, it's doing the rounds of Twitter, so I thought, well, I'll talk about it on my channel, isn't it? So, aye, the housing market. Tough old potato, isn't it? Landlords and bailiffs and can't pay, and, you know, we are in a society of, if you can't pay, then you're homeless, aren't you? So they don't really care about you, do they? They don't care about whether you can pay your council tax and your life circumstances. It's like boomf, morthul. the morthwl of Traeth y Cyngor, bang, they bring it down on top of your head. You've got to find the money. I mean, I don't know whether they incarcerate people anymore for not paying council tax. I think the last person was actually a woman from Bridgend who the local authority incarcerated because she couldn't pay a council tax. She couldn't afford to pay for where she lived. That's some doing that, isn't it?